The Codex of Dream with ChattyGinger. Welcome to the world where dreams became reality. Beware of what you dream of. You have been warned. As the saying goes, you will dream at night if you think about it during the day. Throughout the ages, there are many ancient books on dream interpretation, and they have very good reference value, but the Codex of Dream with me, ChattyGinger, is the only knowledges you'll need. If you can analyze your own dreams, you can effectively predict your future life. Let's take a closer look at what special meanings there are when you lie down with a strange man in your dreams. Chapter 6, Part 1, A New Beginning. Ling had always been a dreamer. One night she had a vivid dream about being with a stranger. This man, unknown yet comforting, seemed to signify something more profound. Upon waking, Ling felt a sense of clarity she hadn't experienced in a long time. This dream was a sign, she decided. It was time for new beginnings. Ling had been struggling with several issues: a looming final exam, a toxic relationship, and a stagnant job. The dream urged her to tackle these head-on. Firstly, Ling focused on her studies. She dedicated herself to revising diligently for her upcoming exam. The dream reminded her that success was within reach if she worked hard and remained focused. The weeks of preparation paid off. She aced her exam and topped her class. Simultaneously, Ling knew she had to end her toxic relationship. Her boyfriend, a charming yet manipulative man, had been a source of constant distress. Drawing strength from her dream, Ling decided to cut ties with him. It wasn't easy, but she felt a weight lift off her shoulders once it was done. With the exam aced and the relationship ended, Ling felt a newfound freedom. She began exploring new job opportunities, seeking a role that would challenge her and align with her passions. Soon enough, she found a job that excited her, promising growth and fulfillment. Ling's life began to transform. The problems that had once seemed insurmountable were now behind her. The dream had been a catalyst, pushing her towards change and giving her the courage to face her challenges. Ling realized that sometimes new beginnings come from the most unexpected places, even from a simple dream. As she embarked on this new chapter, Ling felt optimistic and excited. She understood now that with determination and the willingness to change, she could overcome any obstacle and create the life she desired. Part 2. The Toll of Overwork. Too much work. May had always been a hardworking woman, dedicated to her career and her ambitions. Lately, however, she had begun to feel the effects of her relentless schedule. One night she dreamt of being with a stranger, an unfamiliar man who seemed to represent something deeper. This dream left her feeling exhausted and strangely unsettled. Upon waking, May realized that the dream was a reflection of her current state. She was physically and mentally drained, her energy levels depleted by long hours at work and sleepless nights. Her body was crying out for rest, and she knew she couldn't continue like this without serious consequences. Determined to make a change, May decided to prioritize her health. She set a strict bedtime, ensuring she went to bed early and woke up at a reasonable hour. No longer would she sacrifice her sleep for the sake of work or studies. To help her relax before bed, she started drinking a warm glass of milk, taking melatonin supplements, and soaking in a hot bath. Gradually, May's sleep improved. She began to wake up feeling refreshed and energized, ready to tackle her day with a clear mind and a strong body. Her productivity at work increased, and she found herself more focused and efficient. The dream had been a wake-up call, showing her the importance of self-care and balance. As the days passed, May's health continued to improve. She felt stronger and more resilient, able to handle the demands of her job without feeling overwhelmed. The steps she took to improve her sleep not only enhanced her physical well-being, but also positively impacted her mental state. She was happier, more relaxed, and more content with her life. May realized that sometimes the most important thing one can do is to listen to their body and give it the rest it needs. By doing so, she was able to find a better balance between work and personal care, leading to a healthier, more fulfilling life. Part 3. Facing the unexpected, encountering an accident. Lily was ecstatic. She was just weeks away from her engagement party, a day she had been dreaming of for years. Her boyfriend, David, was everything she had ever wanted, and she couldn't wait to start their new life together. But one night, she had a strange and unsettling dream. In the dream, she found herself with a stranger, an unknown man. This dream left her feeling anxious and disturbed. As the days passed, Lily couldn't shake off the feeling that the dream was trying to tell her something. Her anxiety grew, and she began to notice little things that seemed off. David was acting distant, often distracted and unavailable. He was coming home late, and when she asked, he brushed off her concerns with vague excuses. One evening, just 2 weeks before their engagement, Lily received a phone call. It was from the hospital. David had been in an accident. Panic surged through her as she rushed to the hospital, only to find him in a critical condition. The doctors were doing everything they could, but his injuries were severe. As if this wasn't enough, Lily discovered another blow. While David was in the hospital, a message popped up on his phone from a woman named Sarah. The message was intimate, revealing a relationship that had been going on behind Lily's back. Her heart shattered as she realized that David had been unfaithful. The engagement was called off. Lily was left to pick up the pieces of her life, dealing with the dual shock of David's accident and his betrayal. With time, Lily began to heal. She focused on her own well-being, surrounding herself with supportive friends and family. She started new hobbies, traveled, and even pursued a new career path that she had always been passionate about. Through the pain and disappointment, Lily found her strength and resilience. Lily learned that life can be unpredictable, and sometimes the hardest experiences lead to the most profound personal growth. She emerged stronger, more self-assured, and ready to face whatever came her way. Part 4. A Mother's Fear, Pregnancy Miscarriage. Emma was overjoyed when she found out she was expecting her first child. She and her husband Tom had been trying for months, and finally, their dream was coming true. But one night, Emma had a troubling dream. She dreamt that she was with another man, a stranger, and woke up feeling uneasy and anxious. The dream lingered in her mind, casting a shadow over her happiness. Emma couldn't help but worry that it was a sign of something bad to come. She became more cautious, paying extra attention to her health and safety, and making sure to follow all of her doctor's advice. Despite her efforts, the fear remained. To add to her distress, Tom wasn't as supportive as she had hoped. He seemed distant, often preoccupied with work and his own interests. Emma felt alone in her pregnancy, craving the warmth and reassurance she had expected from him. Her disappointment grew each day, and sometimes she even found herself contemplating a different future, one where she was married to someone who truly cared for her well-being. One afternoon, as Emma was walking home from the market, she slipped and fell. Panic surged through her as she felt a sharp pain in her abdomen. She was rushed to the hospital, where doctors did everything they could, but the news was devastating. She had lost the baby. Emma's world crumbled. The grief of losing her child was overwhelming, compounded by the lack of support from Tom. She felt isolated and heartbroken, unsure of how to move forward. The dream had been a cruel premonition of the tragedy she had feared. In the days that followed, Emma made a difficult decision. She needed to prioritize her own well-being and mental health. She and Tom had a long, honest conversation about their relationship. They both realized that they had grown apart, and that it might be best for both of them to part ways. Emma moved back to her hometown, surrounded by the love and support of her family. She took time to heal, focusing on her recovery and rediscovering her passions. Slowly, she began to find herself again, building a new life with hope and resilience. The experience left Emma stronger and more self-aware. She learned the importance of listening to her own needs and ensuring that she was surrounded by people who truly cared for her. While the pain of her loss would always be a part of her, she found a way to move forward, embracing the future with newfound strength and determination. Part 5. A Change in Plans. It is not suitable to go out. Sophia was eagerly preparing for a much-anticipated trip. She had planned to visit her relatives in another city and then attend a famous band's concert. The excitement of the upcoming journey filled her days with joy and anticipation. However, one night, she had a strange dream. She dreamt of being with an unfamiliar man, a dream that left her feeling uneasy. Sophia couldn't shake off the feeling that the dream was a warning. She shared her concerns with her best friend Lily, who suggested she reconsider her travel plans. At first, Sophia brushed it off, but the nagging feeling of dread persisted. She decided to do some research on the places she was planning to visit, just to ease her mind. As she read news articles and checked travel advisories, she discovered that the areas she intended to visit had recently experienced a spike in crime rates. There had been reports of robberies and a few accidents involving tourists. The dream's ominous nature now seemed like a premonition she couldn't ignore. Reluctantly, Sophia decided to postpone her trip. She called her relatives to explain her decision, and though they were disappointed, they understood her concerns. She also contacted the concert organizers and was relieved to find out she could get a refund for her tickets. With her plans on hold, Sophia focused on her daily routine, but the sense of relief she felt confirmed that she had made the right choice. A week later, she read about a robbery that had occurred near the venue of the concert she was supposed to attend. The news sent chills down her spine, and she realized how close she had come to being in danger. Thankful for having heeded the warning, Sophia used the extra time to reconnect with friends and take care of things she had been putting off. She felt a newfound appreciation for her intuition and the subtle warnings life sometimes offers. The experience taught Sophia a valuable lesson about listening to her instincts and being cautious. She realized that sometimes plans need to change for a reason, and it's important to be adaptable. When the time was right, she knew she would reschedule her trip, but for now, she was content and safe, grateful for the unexpected turn of events.